Okay, factorial notation. So the big thing with it's just another way to write out products. It says here the definition of a factorial is if n is a positive integer, then n factorial is defined as. Now it looks a little confusing. It's just n factorial is equal to 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, all the way up to every number being multiplied to whatever our n is. So, for example, if I had given you instead 4 factorial, because it's got an actual number, I think it's easier to understand, you could say that this is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So you multiply every integer from 1 to whatever the digit we're taking the factorial of is. So and if I said like 6 factorial, then that would be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, all the way up to times 6. And then, of course, you can multiply these to actually find out what their answer is. And like I know this one's 24, and this one I think is like 720. All right. Now, but you do need to know there's a special case here. The special case is that 0 factorial is equal to 1. So just make sure you know that one. Alright, so then here it just shows kind of what I did. So some other values instead of n. But just remember, I didn't talk about it back here so much, but you know, if it's n factorial, it's just 1 times 2 times 3 all the way up to whatever that last number is. If it's n, we don't know what n is, but we're going to multiply every number from 1 up to whatever n could be. So, of course, since I have, it doesn't mean I'm going to multiply those numbers and actually get an answer because we don't know n. So, but you could write it out and you just multiply, you write times between every number up to n. Alright, so back on, let's go on to the next slide here. Something else though to watch out for though is it's kind of the same things as exponents, as factorials. So if you've got 2n factorial, there's two different ways to write it. You can write it without parentheses or with parentheses. Now be careful though, because if you don't put parentheses, only whatever's directly in front of it gets the factorial. So on this first one, without the parentheses, only the n is going to get that factorial. So that's 2 times whatever the n factorial would be. And so you would work out your n factorial, and whatever number n would be, then you would multiply that by 2. Where 2n, both of them in parentheses with a factorial, means that we would work it all the way up to 2 times whatever n is. So it's just a different way to write it. Don't worry about the n part. Don't freak out on it.